Hey there, comic book friends. I'm Travis, and this is another edition of What the Fugue, where I talk about what's going on with me in my week of comics. Not a lot in the way of news, really. And I say news as opposed to rumor. Been a lot, people talk about stuff and whatnot, and a lot of us do these podcasts or talk about different things and whatnot, and even more so. There are sites, like Bleeding Cool and stuff like that, who call stuff news when there aren't any facts to back it up. And for me, it's not news if there's no facts to back it up. It's a rumor. It's just somebody out there saying something. If I had 1 million followers and I were to blog or tweet or say a video making some statement, that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it news. That just makes it my speculation on what I think something's going to be, or how it is, or whatever. And that's not, to me, that's not news. That's rumor. Which I'm okay with rumor. That's fine, but it shouldn't be disguised as news, in my opinion. You should have some level of fact to back that up, and the fact just shouldn't be, oh, somebody else blogged it or tweeted it or whatever, and so therefore I'm going to call it news. That's just my thing on that. So yeah, not a lot going on that way. 2 weeks ago, James Robinson tweeted that he was done doing Earth 2. Talked some with some of you guys on Twitter about it. Who the heck's going to be the new writer on that book, because it seems so much to be a Robinson project. And he's worked for DC for a lot of years now. And for him to suddenly not have any DC projects, and it seems to be of his choosing, and DC hasn't made any remarks on the fact and whatnot, that's interesting. I'd be really curious to see who they get to write the book and how that changes the voice of the book when somebody else writes the book. And I'd be curious to know what the deal breaker was to make him decide he was done doing that. Would be interesting. Doesn't matter, but it would be interesting to know. Then again, if I knew, maybe I wouldn't want to know. So, anyway, that's that. I've kind of been off and on with the videos lately. I think it's been like 3 weeks since I've done a What the Fugue. Between it being the end of the school year and the kids really busy at their final stuff, and so I've been going and doing a lot of stuff at night as opposed to making videos. And I haven't been in the best of health. My back is really twisted up right now. Getting it worked on, so hopefully it gets better. So sometimes I don't have a high tolerance for sitting in one place and talking a whole bunch, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But that's basically why I've been somewhat absent. Not totally absent, but somewhat absent. Let's see what's going on with me. Oh, this is the month where my comics, I believe, start coming without bags and boards. So part of this whole project, if you've been watching these What the Fugues, and I've been talking about it, I've been trying to figure out how to get my weight ratio down enough to where my comics get mailed to me by priority mail. So I get them in 2 days, as opposed to them being mailed by FedEx, where it takes 7 days for me to get my comics. Because I get my comics supposedly weekly shipped to me, but if comics come out on Wednesday, I usually get them the next Tuesday. In this case, because of the holiday this week, I actually got them Wednesday. So, but the comics that came out this week, I actually only get 9 issues, which is a small pull for me for the week. So they're definitely coming priority. So on Friday, probably when people are watching this, I will have this week's books. Of course, right now I'm still reading last week's books because I didn't get them until Wednesday. So lots of reading for me to do. You'll see double reviews probably. I won't put them together because there's going to be too many books that way. But you'll probably see here in the next day or two, you'll get a No Capes. We'll get probably a quick version of most of the reviews of my books from last week. And then this week's books, at the very beginning of the week, or maybe the end of the weekend, depending on how quickly I get around to reading them, I will do another No Capes and Monster Comics review. So yeah, there's that. And we'll see how this goes. We'll see how the experiment goes. Like I've said, if if this month I don't get my books in a, within a couple days of New Comic Book Day, I'm going to go back to getting my books, bi-monthly. I can save about $12 if I go back to getting my books shipped bi-monthly. So that would be a good thing. I can spend that $12 on more comic books. Or the fact that both of my kids are going to both go into braces this summer. So that could put a drain on the extracurricular comic book activity that I have going on right now. So there's that. So, thinking there's something else. Oh yeah, I've actually gotten a few private messages from people saying that I should start up a Friday comic book show with the Comic Talk podcast, currently in whatever state it is in. I don't know. I don't know about that. What do you guys all think? I mean, there are a bunch of them out there. A lot of guys are doing shows. They're great shows. You got the Excalibur Brits have a pretty fine-tuned show that they do on Sundays. You've got Incredible CJ and that crew of guys, Dark Nate and Frank, I'm forgetting your Twitter handle, and Runs with Comics. Those four guys get together on Tuesdays and talk books. Comics Crusader, is that your Twitter handle? Not Twitter handle, but YouTube handle. And Ben Fix It Smash and Cursive Man. I've been doing a Wednesday show. Am I missing any other shows? Of course, there's the Avenger Dark Inc. crew and their shows. So there's quite a few out there. I mean, I always have things to say. But is my voice needed, or is it would be interested in doing that? I don't know. And I also don't know in the fact that I don't want to walk on anybody's toes or, create any bad vibes or whatever. Not that all of us don't have a right to run a show if we want to run a show. But mine would be something a little different, I think. Mine also might be later in the night than what the old Friday show was. Simply because it gives me more time to get things done with the family and whatnot before a show starts. I live on the West Coast, so I'm Pacific time. So it might be a night show for me. We should make it really late for anybody on the East Coast, for instance. So, if you have an opinion one way or the other, yeah, cool, do it, get some guys together. And I don't know who all is interested out there in doing a show. I have some ideas of things I've always thought would be fun to do, but I don't know. But I don't know who's interested in doing a show. If you'd be interested in listening to one or whatever, what do you think? Yeah, that'd be cool. No, don't do it. That kind of sucks to do one on a night that there was another show. That sort of thing. I don't know. You tell me as far as that goes. Not that your opinion 100% sways me one way or the other. I'm going to kind of do what I want to do. But, I would be curious to know if people would think that that's uncool or whatever. Then obviously I need to approach that differently. But I don't know. I haven't 100% decided that that's what I want to do anyway. That's all I got. Just wanted to touch base. I've had a few people say, hey, where's your What the Fugue's at? I don't got tons going on. Oh, I know one more thing. Because my back is all jacked up, I haven't done any fishing with comics. My back has been twisted up for the last 3 weeks. So no fishing for comics yet. Really sucks. I'm wanting to get into that. My back is feeling a little bit better. So I'm hoping to start doing that soon. Because the right kind of fish are going to be out there and they're going to be biting. So I need to be getting on that. So hopefully I'll get to that soon and we'll get some fun footage of me hauling in fish or something. Right? Anyway, great talking to you. Hope you get to talk to some of you guys down the road in some other capacities and whatnot. If you like talking comics, I'm always up for talking comics on Twitter. On Twitter, my Twitter handle is _Gaunt_man. I've thought about changing that to Oddfellows Thought like my YouTube handle is, but I think that would cause a lot of confusion with people who already know me, who I've been talking to for a number of years that I've been on Twitter under the other name. So there's that. Anyway, I'll quit taking up your time so you can go back to reading some comics, watching some excellent videos. Just thought of something else I want to talk about. Make sure you jump on to Agent 42Q's channel. If you're not following Agent 42Q, you are a fool. You should be following the guy. He doesn't crank out lots of videos, but he is very articulate. And when he does put out a video, it's worth sitting through and watching it, even the drunk ones. Right now, he's kind of hosting kind of a community sort of a thing. He's got a bunch of the guys together in the community, and they're doing, each one of them is taking an issue of the Dark Phoenix saga of the X-Men back in the mid-late 80s. No, early mid-80s. Each of them are talking a book. I know there's some have already been out. I think they're a quarter of the way through them right now. You should be checking those out. It's always cool when a group of guys get together and they kind of communally talk about a project. You know, last year there was a Watchmen one that some of us did. I think that was pretty cool to get everybody's take on their pieces of the Watchmen and then maybe how it all syncs together and whatnot. I think that maybe possibly part of Agent 42Q's plan is once they're done, each of them touching base on their things, maybe he's going to get them together and them all talk about it as a overscoping thing. That would be cool if they do that. If they're not doing that or didn't think to do that, I'm sure he probably talked about it because I don't know why I'd had the idea in my head. But if you haven't, if you're watching this, Matt, see if you can get all those guys together in one place to kind of talk about it as a larger thing. I think that would be pretty cool too. Anyway, for real, this is it. I will catch you guys all on the weekend. Bye.